Hey guys, Psychic Pictures here. Well, the November 1st Smash Brothers Direct. It was the final one that we're going to get before the game launches. So, without further ado, this is my thoughts on the Smash Brothers Newcomers announced on November 1st, 2018. Keep in mind, this is one of many videos that I'm going to do about the information released in this Direct. So, enjoy. So, this is kind of the most obvious choice in the history of Smash Brothers to put in Ken from Street Fighter. So, this guy, he looks and, well, for the most part, he is Ryu from Street Fighter and originally echoed Ryu in Street Fighter. So, this is quite possibly the most obvious character to put in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate that ever existed. So, more obvious than Mario almost. Almost more obvious than the face of gaming himself. But, oh my goodness. Ken Fighter. Ken from Street Fighter in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. He made it number 2 on my Echo Fighters list. On my top 3 Echo Fighters list, and I said that there was without a doubt in my mind that he was going to be in there. Here he is in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate as Ryu's Echo Fighter. So this I'm going to say this again. This is quite possibly the most obvious choice they could have gone with for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And given that they went and made the concept of Echo Fighters, this was quite possibly the most obvious Echo Fighter there ever existed. His movesets are pretty similar to Ryu's, but they have like that Toon Link charm to them. Like, instead of throwing people away with his, I'm not going to name them by their actual ones, it's the roundhouse kick, his side B, he goes and keeps them in with the roundhouse kick. He doesn't kick them away immediately. He goes and kicks them multiple times. His Shoryuken his up B actually looks really cool, really intense. I know it's based on fire, so that actually makes it much better in my opinion. Instead of just oh, you're gonna hit someone. Ken's like, nope, let's make it flashy. So, overall, I actually looked at Ken's kit, and he seems to be a pretty cool fighter. So, without a doubt in my mind, Ken will be a very good fighter in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I guarantee it. Another obvious choice for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is Incineroar. So, people were speculating that he was going to be in the game already, myself included. He was number 2 on my top 3 characters I wanted to see in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So, I kind of figured that Incineroar was going to be in the game since, 1, up to this point we didn't have a new Pokemon, which they always introduced a new Pokemon in every single Super Smash Bros. Game, whether it be a big name like Pikachu or a small name like Pichu. And I knew they were going to introduce a new Pokemon, and Incineroar was the one that was the go-to for going to Sun and Moon since Decidueye himself was in Pokken Tournament. And yes, Charizard was in Pokken Tournament as well, but the reason that I say that Charizard was an exception to this rule is because that Charizard is one of the most popular Pokemon of all time. And he appeared in Brawl, which was before Pokken Tournament. So, I kind of figured that Incineroar would be the one to go to for the new Pokemon. And I knew there was going to be a new Pokemon in this Direct, but the only thing I was like was, how are they going to introduce Incineroar? And they made it in a boxing arena with Ken and Incineroar. That was pretty cool. His neutral B is Darkest Lariat, which actually looks pretty cool compared to the silliness of Sun and Moon. And yes, it is a pretty silly move in Sun and Moon, but I think it's still pretty good. What else? It's weird that he has a cage match, kind of... It's weird that he has a cage match kind of side B, where he throws an opponent into a barrier that pushes them back, and then he has to hit the button again to do more damage. Which I think that's okay, because Incineroar is a wrestler, but it's also pretty weird to see a Pokemon do that. His final smash is pretty cool. That, he goes and pretty much is a cage match for that, and he goes and throws them up really high, hits them a few times, and then headbutts them into the ground. That was pretty amazing. Overall, I think Incineroar was just the perfect choice to go and put as the sole Pokemon representative in this game. Okay, now for the fighter that everyone's been picking on. The Piranha Plant. So, the Piranha Plant. I actually kind of like. I am dead serious. I was waiting for Sakurai to pull a curveball, to throw a curveball at us, and I never expected it to be the Piranha Plant, and no one else did either, that I've ever seen streams for. I've never seen anyone mention a Piranha Plant to be in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. This one, I think, is quite possibly the most off-the-wall character that they could have picked from a very well-known series. I absolutely adore it. And you know what? The moveset looks pretty cool too. True that it's a little silly to have the Piranha Plant be an actual fighter instead of other characters that would be very good in that role. But we've got 5 downloadable content characters on the way that they haven't started working on yet, so who knows? One of the fighters that I really, really wanted, Shantae, would actually be in the game. So the Piranha Plant. Yes, I really like that this character's in the game. I am dead serious. His final smash alone is really cool, which he summons PD Piranha and captures people in a cage. First time seeing that since Super Smash Bros. Brawl. And just overall, I really like the Piranha Plant. The thought behind it, the condition that it needs to go with, things like that, I really like the Piranha Plant idea. Because with Sakurai, you can go and guarantee that he can take pretty much every character from anything, make a moveset behind it that works, and have it be in the game as a good fighter. So, in this case, we have Ness and Captain Falcon from the first game, Mr. Game & Watch from Melee, Rob from Brawl, and Duck Hunt Duo from Wii U and 3DS. Now, we have the Piranha Plant. This alone is the biggest off-the-wall character that ever existed in Super Smash Bros. Even though it's from a very well-known series, I think this is quite possibly the most off-the-wall character he could have picked from any of the series in the game so far. So, those are my thoughts on the characters that got announced on November 1st. See you guys next time for more Super Smash Bros. Talk, because believe me, there's a lot.